Hey everybody, it's Cargo Bike Life, back in the shop, working on the folding bike handlebars again. And when I came back today, I had my batteries fully charged, and I tore them ends off the bars, and I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to cut the handlebars off, because I thought that this tube right here, where the handlebars came up, they were down here before. That's where they were. That's where it was welded on. I cut right below the weld because I was pretty sure that this stem right here would fit in that tube perfectly. And I checked before. This is not aluminum. This is steel, just like all the rest of the frame of the bike. Everything on this bike is steel. And the thickness of this tube is actually thinner or thicker than the steel on the fork tube. They could be two different types of steel. I realize that, but I said to hell with it. I want to have my bike the way I want it. And I figure if worse came to worse and I cut it off and it didn't work out, what I do is take this part off, take the handlebars with me, and I'd have to take it somewhere to have them welded. But what I would have them do is put an extension on there and weld my handlebars up where I wanted them. But once I cut it off, this stem, man, it fit nice and smooth, no play, not too tight, you know, where it wouldn't move, because you got to have adjustment to line it up with the front wheel. But it fit in there nice. When I cranked it down, man, it just tightened right up. It's good to go. So now I got these nice, this is probably a little, 2 or 3 inch riser on this adjustable stem, and I adjusted the stem to where I want it, put the handlebars on there. But what you have to remember anytime that you raise the handlebars on a bike, before you raise them, know this: your derailleur cables and your brake cables. If there's not enough housing and cable left from where they sat, I mean, you're talking about the handlebars were here and now they're here. I mean, what are we talking about? Maybe, so I went about 6 inches to the center of this. From the top of this to the center of this handlebar is about 6 inches. So I did a 6-inch rise of the handlebar, which is great for me, but my cables were no longer long enough. So if you're ever going to raise your handlebars way up, you may have to put, a new set of cables on there. If you have a flat bar and you go to a riser bar, like you got a 5-inch rise, you may have to put a new cable set on there. So be prepared for that. It's something to think about. The other thing I like about putting this up here was, since this is just 6 speeds and I only have one little shifter, I put it right here on the neck, just like back in the day when the Schwinns used to have the single speed shifter on there. That bike has one. I don't know if you can see it from there, but that's what this has. It has one single lever for shifting the rear, because it's a 5-speed. And that's how they used to do it back in the day, and they put it on the neck. And I actually almost used that shifter off that old bike, but because it belongs with that bike, I couldn't do it. I just got this one. But this works really well, and now it's right here and leaves my handlebars clear. Jared D made a comment that if I left the handlebars, and he said they make accessories where I could have, if I get what he was talking about, I could have another set of handlebars above that one, which would get me up to where I wanted to be, and then I'd have the lower ones to actually hang a bag or something on. But I don't know. I like that idea, but I already had this, and I already had this, so I just thought I'd give it a shot, and it worked out. And now I have nice tall handlebars, because I sit up very high on this bike, and I don't like leaning forward. I like to be upright. I don't want to lean forward when I ride. I don't want my eyes just projecting on the road. I like upright. I want to be projected on the road in front of me, and I want a clear field of vision all the way in front of me so I can see, because people, they don't look out for us all the time, man. And I love to ride. I don't want to be hit and crippled up. So I just thought I'd show you things are possible. I'm not recommending that you do this. I mean, it's up to you. It's your bike. I'm just saying it worked out for me. But if you cut that off and it don't work out, but if you, I wanted to say, like, if you don't really know how to repair bikes or fix bikes, or maybe don't fully understand how they're put together, go to a yard sale, go to a Goodwill, buy a $10 or $15 cheap bike. Buy one, you know, like if you have a bike with gears, buy one with gears. And just go home and take it apart. And when you get to something where you're like, well, I'm not really sure how this comes apart, get on YouTube. There's a guy named RJ the bike guy, I think. But he has a lot of videos on repair. And he's really good at it. He can show you a lot of things. Also wanted to point out, never be afraid. Like, I was afraid to cut this off, and then today I was like, why are you afraid? Just cut it off. Don't be a pussy. Just cut it off, man. It'll either work or it won't. Fuck it. Just do it. And it worked out. And now I'm much happier. But you should learn to repair your own bike. Get a bike, tear it apart, take your time, you know, make it like, one day I'm gonna do the crank. And you take the crank off, then you learn how to clean the bearings, and you know, if it has those kind of bearings, and then, you know, put it all back together. Then do this, then take a wheel apart, then, you know, learn how to take the whole back wheel apart, freewheel, cassette, all that, learn all that. And man, it's really not that hard. You know, but I see so many people, adults, and they're like, I have to fix their bike for them, which I don't mind doing. I don't mind helping people, but I always encourage them to, instead of having me fix your bike, how about you stand here with me and I'll teach you how to fix your bike. That way, if I'm not around, you can fix your bike. They're like, some of them are cool with that, and some of them are like, no, I'd rather just have you do it. I'll even pay you if you want. I'm like, I don't want your money. I want you to learn. And when they don't want to, then I just fix their bike and let them go on. But I mean, I'm not going to do infinite repairs on people's bikes because they're too lazy to learn. Help yourself, man. Learn that shit. It's not that hard. I also want to give a shout out today to someone that's not in our normal circle here. Her name is Laura Kemp. I think it's Kemp. But she's what they call a maker. She makes things. It's LauraKemp, I think is how you spell her name. And if I got that wrong, I'm sorry, Laura. I subscribe to her, but check her out, man. She makes some really cool bicycle stuff. If you're into bicycles, like she made this badass trailer the other day out of a couple wheelbarrows. She made a folding bike. I mean, she does a lot with bikes, but she does other things too. Like she took a silver briefcase and made a camp kitchen out of it. But check her out, man. She is really cool. And she's got a really cool shop. And she does everything. Like she works with wood, she works with metal, she welds, she's got really nice top of the line tools. She has a huge channel, which I'm sure, you know, gives her a nice income from that. But I mean, she makes some really cool stuff, and she's very, very skilled. So you could probably learn a lot from watching someone like that too. If like you lack some kind of skill that you want to have, watch Laura, man. She's cool. But that's all I got for you today right now at this point, because I got to put some brake cables on here and stuff and shorten this. But I just wanted to show you that, you know, what happened with the handlebars, because I said I'd do an update. And I got a few other things, and then we'll do another update. But y'all ride safe. Be careful out there, man. Have a good day. This is Cargo Bike Life out.